everyone!
Hi!
We are here today with a video on the peony flower in fragrances, and we have chosen 3 out of the fragrances that Sarah and I work with that all contain peony, which to talk to you about.
Yes, and 2 of them are new.
Oh yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
2 are new.
First up, how does peony smell?
Oh, good question. Because I don't know that I necessarily think of a peony smell that's different to a rose. I always imagine in my head that it smells like a rose. Do you know what I mean?
I think I did until I had some peonies, and then they were right next to my sofa, and their smell was actually quite potent.
Really?
But it is quite rosy, but I feel like it's a little bit more soapy.
Okay,
maybe.
interesting. And maybe lighter.
It's a fresh floral as opposed to like a heady rose.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that because although we're not talking about it today, there was a fragrance called L'amour in a Nicotal.
Yes.
And that was very peony and
we have
rose.
talked about it once before. I'll link the video below if you're interested. But it mixed very well with rose. So that's often where you see it in fragrances, is alongside a rose note. So it's a very ancient flower as well.
It is. I mean, and it's very much from China, isn't it? And the Far East. I think it's a national emblem.
Yes.
Yes.
In China, and I think they used to use it in cooking, in flavouring. And it's got a lot of history there.
So I read that I quite like this story, that it was the legend that mischievous nymphs used to hide in the petals of the because peony's got lots of effusive petals, very blousy flower, and hence the flower became sort of synonymous with kind of hiding or bashfulness, you know, shyness.
Yeah, and I think it's, as you said, it's predominantly was grown in Asia for a long time, but then it was brought over to Europe in the 1700s, and it was actually brought first to Kew Gardens. So if you know, in the UK, Kew Gardens is a very famous garden, and they have lots of big greenhouses where they cultivate unusual plants, and so the peony was brought there, and still apparently the UK is one of the biggest breeders of peony, which is good to know. So shall we show you some?
Let's show you some. In fact, let's start with one that actually isn't new, because we did briefly talk about this before, and it's the Elizabeth and James Nirvana collection, and it's their white Nirvana white, and this has peony linked with Lily of the Valley.
It does. This, I would say, of all the ones we're going to show you, it's quite hard to spray. It's a big bottle. Yeah, it's 100ml, and it looks even bigger than 100ml, but it's beautiful. And actually, the white does fit very well with the smell, I feel, because it is a very fresh, crisp, clean floral.
Yeah, I mean there's some green in there from probably from the Lily of the Valley, and I guess what the peony is doing there is it is just adding that sort of soft delicacy,
that kind of
femininity. I love that.
It's quite a soft fragrance on the dry down. It's quite a soft musky like white musk feel to it. It does just smell clean. It's beautiful for spring and summer. They also do in this a dry shampoo, and that's a lovely smell to have in your hair as well. It
really is. So really beautiful peony, green Lily of the Valley type scent. So a good one to try if you're interested in that sort of floral. What's next?
Next up, should we show the Kenzo?
Yeah.
So this is Kenzo World Eau de Toilette.
Because we had Eau de Parfum.
Yes, we have had Eau de Parfum, and we talked about that before. This is the new variation, so it's pink.
I really like that. It is pink, but it's almost like a pale flesh colour.
Yes, it's millennial pink, I believe it is referred to as. We're far too old for that. But
I'm so not a millennial.
Your top's almost that colour as well. It's a dusky, soft pink. So, the fragrance of Kenzo World, the original, was quite a warm, ambery, sweet floral. But this one has got, it's not so berry-y as the original was berry.
It's not
This
sweet.
is more of a pear fruitiness to it.
Oh, do you know what? I can smell the almond.
Oh, yes.
There's an almond blossom note combined with peony.
That's quite marzipan-y, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, I often pick almond out because it's one... it's odd, this. I like the smell of almond, but I don't necessarily like the taste. Is that weird?
I more like the taste than the smell.
So I like the smell. Put a nuts together and you get one whole almond.
I love
lover.
almonds, anything almond,
And I like the smell because I find it comforting.
Yes, it is.
You know, it's that kind of creaminess.
Like coconut as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like this because actually it's not quite so effervescent and berry-y as the original Eau de Parfum that launched last year.
It's more powdery.
It's not as heady.
I feel like there's some kind of iris, like soft iris, with the peony and the pear and the almond blossom. Yeah, it's a really nice, easy to wear fragrance for spring.
Much more powdery than the Elizabeth and James
Definitely.
one. Third up, let's have a look at now. What a packaging is this?
It's
Coach. I love Coach packaging. I really like their bottles. I love the hardware on the bottles with the hang tag that's so reminiscent of the brand, the Coach and Horses logo embossed in the glass. I think it's really classy.
Yeah.
But the box also covered in flowers is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think this takes inspiration from a Tea Rose collection.
Yes, they have a collection in their fashion called Tea Rose and handbags and things, which have all these appliqued leather flowers all over them. So it's matching in with that, which is really nice.
It's just called Floral Eau de Parfum.
Yeah.
And obviously there is florals in it.
Yes, including peony.
Including the peony. But what's it combined with? Thank you.
Sorry, there's two.
Second one. Okay. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, so jasmine.
Yes.
So peony
Definitely
and jasmine together.
Yes.
Yeah. Now that one, actually, it smells the lightest of the three.
It does.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The most spring-like, perhaps, of the three. And these are launching around now, aren't they? I want to say January, February time.
Yes, they are, yeah.
So again, it's that whole kind of jumps on that idea of a new season.
Yes.
Yeah.
And definitely I can smell the pineapple note in this as well. There's a top note of pineapple, and so again, it's like you're like, oh, it's fruity. It's not berries. It's not citrus.
No.
Pineapple is kind of that nice juiciness to it.
It's sharp and juicy, actually. So it's a real contradiction, pineapple, because it's not sharp lemony, but it's not sweet tangerine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got a bit of a balance of both.
It's nice with the jasmine, actually. Yeah.
But it's interesting, isn't it? Because we're talking about peony, and I don't know that you necessarily think, oh, I want a peony fragrance.
No,
because
it's not a key note that people think of.
No, and even though they've all got peony in them, they all smell so different.
They're very, very different, yeah. So I think that's where the peony works well, is it kind of blends with other things quite well, other florals. So like we've seen the rose or the lily of the valley or the jasmine. So they're also beautiful flowers as well to look at.
They're stunning.
Yeah.
I love them on my, when I can get hold of them.
Yeah, we can only get them. I think it's like May, June time is the best time to get hold of peonies. So we hope you enjoyed that and you like some of those new launches. Let us know if you've had a chance to try any of them. And we will see you all again next week.
Absolutely. If you have a request for us to cover a flower or an ingredient, keep those comments coming. We have got a long list. Thank you if you've already suggested some videos. We'll try and work our way through. But it's always good.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye.